Here with Dan Donegan from Disturbed. How's it going, brother?
It's going great. Just loving being back up on that stage, just tearing it up and playing some of these big festivals. But these shows, like tonight, have been great too with Rob Zombie and Pop Evil. So it's probably like our fourth or fifth with them, I think.
How's it been going?
Great. Awesome. Just cool vibe. Great production. Great show by Zombie. Set is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Pop Evil is my first time seeing these guys live, and they sound great. Good
awesome.
songs.
Cool. We were talking actually on the phone the other day, and you're saying that you have a lot of production in y'all set on this tour, a lot of pyro and stuff like that. What can we expect tonight from that?
Well, depending on each market and each venue, sometimes they may limit on how much they'll allow us to blow up. But when we're able to do in the right accommodations, which tonight I believe we should be able to because we're indoors, we should be able to use a lot of the bells and whistles tonight. So it's awesome. I mean, we love having all that stuff up there. Just nothing screams a big rock show like pyro.
Yeah. This place has a pretty high roof.
Yeah,
so I think it'll be fine. I was told y'all just came from New Orleans.
Yep.
How was that?
It's coming back to me in little portions of remembering the end of the night because there was some shots flowing. We just thought we'd stop off there. We were just there actually not too long ago and did a show at the House of Blues there. It was great. We just went out, a few of us, did some late dinner and just kind of strolled around the French Quarter and then found a couple bars to pop in and then of course somebody's got to suggest, hey, let's do a shot, and then it turns into a couple more.
Okay.
So yeah, it was good though.
I completely understand. And we here at South Louisiana are known for our cuisine.
Yeah.
Do you like what kind of South Louisiana food do you like when you come down here?
There's so many great restaurants and great food there. That's why we wanted to stop off there. So oysters. There's a couple places. One down there, a place called Katie's, which I really like. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's kind of in a little neighborhood corner restaurant that's really really good. And just any fish, any seafood stuff.
Crawfish
shrimp.
fan?
I'm not a big crawfish guy. I'm shrimp, but I had one of our security guys. He's big into the crawfish thing. I don't know if I feel comfortable like just sucking the meat out of the head there. But I've tried it before. It's just not at the top of my list of things to eat.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's messy,
yeah.
But some people kind of get the hang of it. It just takes a little while.
Yeah.
But we were talking the other day about The Sound of Silence. It's a big record. Once again, like, what made y'all decide that was the one?
Well, first of all, whenever we're talking about doing covers and that too, we want to find a song that we can relate to or appreciate the lyrics and the message to the song. And when we were talking about what bands and what era we want to look at, and Mike had suggested Simon and Garfunkel at the point. So once we were thinking about it, we're like, oh yeah, the lyrics to Sound of Silence are really good. I think we can make this fit with us. And stylistically, I made the suggestion of going down the road we went here because I didn't want to be predictable with it. And not just that, I just wanted to challenge ourselves musically and really kind of put a lot of the weight and the pressure on David to have to deliver a vocal performance that the fans haven't heard from him, and to give him the confidence to, hey, let's take this in another area, let's really have a vulnerable performance to put it out there, to let him have to try to carry the weight of the song, and us provide him with a haunting and a dark bed of music. I thought that in my head I was thinking there's ways of still making it disturbed and making it dark and haunting. It doesn't mean we have to have heavy guitars and heavy drums. So that's where the idea of bringing the orchestra and having violins and piano and cello and everything and try to keep it dark that way. And obviously his vocal performance, to have him start off in that lower register in a place where fans never heard him go before, and really put himself out there and have to build it vocally. So I think once we got tracking and building the idea, it just started becoming real obvious to us that we made the right choice to explore that path. And I think it kind of surpassed our own expectations once it was coming together.
It definitely worked. And the first time I heard it, like, I didn't know what to expect. Sound of Silence. Okay.
Yeah.
First thing I thought, I've heard y'all other covers before. I was like, what? probably have the Disturbed stamp, but that was far from it. And that's what really drew me to it, and I knew it was going to be huge because of, you know, the big sound of it. Like, you know, you had the strings in it, all, you know, nothing heavy about it at all.
Right.
I think that's what sticks out about it.
Well, that's the thing. We're hoping that we just widen the definition of what Disturbed is. You know, it's not going to be predictable. It's not. So when you're waiting for something to just pop up and be heavy, but it never comes, because the heaviest part of it is the emotional vocal delivery. You know, so it's heavy in that sense. You know, so, but you know, I'm of course excited and glad to know that we've just branched out even more. You know, we 16 years into our touring career professionally, and to know that we still got a lot of creativity in us to really push ourselves.
Cool. I'm a guitar player. One thing that always drew me to y'all sound was your tone. Any secrets for the guitar players out there to kind of get that Dan Donegan tone?
I mean, well, besides the gear itself, I mean, a lot of tone comes from your hands and just the way you play stylistically. But you know, I've always, I think, tried to find something that's not oversaturated, something that the syncopation within the band. You know, a lot of the things that go on between me and the rhythm section with Mike and John is just really staccato and tight and that. So I try to make sure that it's not something that's just over distorted and kind of bleeding over or anything. So it's somewhat of a semi-dirty tone, but there's a good blend of you know, I have a couple different rigs that I carry depending on the size of the room we're doing. And my A rig that I use has been a combination of a Bogner Ecstasy head with an Agnator Armageddon head with Kemper Profiler and Fractal. So I have 4 different things going on at once, and it gives my sound guy the flexibility and the option of how he wants to blend those 4 out front. And it's, you know, it's huge for one guitar player. It gives him 4 great tones coming in there. So and then plus for on stage for our in-ears, we're all just taking the signal from the Kemper. So there's no live mics on cabinets on the deck, so you don't get that bleed through of that ambient noise up on the deck. You're just getting the straight signal, so it makes things really clean for our in-ear monitors. It makes it easier for David vocally, because he's not, you know, it's something he could hear the tone and the key a lot cleaner, so he's not forcing and pushing himself vocally. So, which was a very important thing, because playing 4 or 5 nights a week for as long as we have, and he's had a few struggles in the past of overexerting at times, and just like any singer, sometimes they hit that rough patch of you know, either getting sick or having an issue, and this has been very helpful on his end of things to not have to push himself harder because he's getting a clean signal.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I'm going to ask one silly question before we finish. Out of all 4 of you, which one of you would survive the zombie apocalypse? And why?
Okay, well, I have a strong chance, and the reason why is because Mike, our drummer, had bought me for my birthday one year a zombie apocalypse kit. It's actually called that, and it was like a machete and like a Rambo knife and all these things. So I definitely have tools for it. So I think I stand a chance. But I also know what Mike has in his own home, and he has an arsenal of things. He's up in Wisconsin, where there's a lot of gun carriers and weapon carriers, and we're actually going to go to the shoot tomorrow in the morning before the show. But so Mike probably has a stronger chance because I know he's got an arsenal of things.
Awesome. Well, cool, man. Dan, really appreciate it, man.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right.